Hello, and welcome to Zone Defense in Elaine's Kitchen. So first we're going to go over ball movement when the ball's up top. So right now X is going to have the ball. And so when X has the ball, D is going to pop up to it. And then K and Z right here are going to squeeze in just a little bit. So just if X gets beat, I drew this way too small, but that's okay. Then K and Z are right there to be like, hello, bitch. So, and that's that. And so then when the ball gets passed to like C here, then it switches and K is going to go up to the ball while D and S are going to kind of pinch in to be that help. And now this happens, it's the same when, if like C were to run across the crease, so like X and Q get the fuck out, and then so K's up here, and C goes la 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 la, K goes back, D goes up, she keeps fucking around, blah blah blah. So it's just like that. I mean, you could also like follow your girl, but then you have to communicate, like everybody, like I'm going through, and then D, so you probably can't see, D is, so they're gonna keep going, and then D is gonna have to slide over to cover for that, because we have to keep all the pieces of the pie covered. And so that's up top ball movement. Okay, so now we're going to go over when the ball is down low. So when the ball is down low, it takes a lot of communication. Because first of all, so the elbow is going to have to drop down. So then the elbow is going to be yelling, coming down, coming down, coming down. And then has to tell E to pop. And then while that's going on, up here, our people have to shift because the elbows can't be left open because this is prime cutting area. So then D is going to have to scoot over, and also these two letters. But S is going to stay on her elbow because this is a phenomenal cut. So at least she's here to back it up. And then, so yeah, shifting. And so this has to be communicated. Like when she's going down, she's probably like coming down, shift left or whatever direction it is. So now we're going to go back down here, because the hardest thing about being the backer is whether or not, like what you're going to do when the ball moves from one side of the crease to the other side of the crease. So like let's say R passes to X. Now there's two options. The first option is L's going to come back up and she's going to be yelling, coming back up, shift, shift, shift. Meanwhile, S is coming down saying going down, shift, shift, shift. So then that means K is going to come shift to the elbow. He's gonna go over here, blah blah, da da, and then Y is gonna pop, just like it did on the other side, and E's gonna come back. So that's option one. Option two is, like let's say X passes it over to R. Well, let's say S looks back and L's not paying attention. That's not okay, but it happens, or she's really feeling it and wants to go. So she's just gonna go F this and say, I'm coming through, tell her beautiful penguin goalie, come over, and then now Y is going to come back, and E is going to pop. And no one has to shift, which is a little nice. But once the ball comes back up, like when R passes to C, there is going to have to be a shift because L is going to pop up, so she can't be running around following the ball as it's passed. Right? So instead of coming and being the elbow, she's going to come and go to the position right next to the elbow. Meanwhile, she's going to yell shift right, and everyone's going to shift right. This also may be the same in scenario one, where like this person, ball comes here, this person comes down, blah, blah, blah. And if it comes back up, since everyone's shifted, if it comes back up, because S is going to be the closest. We're not going to wait for L to run over. So that means S is going to probably pop up. And L's not going to do this. She's probably going to go to this space. Okay, so now cuts. This is probably like not the hardest part of zone, but it is what messes up a zone. So it's very important to really communicate on these parts. So we're going to go from the situation of the ball's down low, and that's where the cuts are coming from, because I don't understand really how cuts work. And this is where most of them come from anyway. So of course, back is going to drop, E is going to pressure, everyone's going to shift. And so it's kind of important that everyone has their slice of the pie in this situation, and your pie's bigger, but you also need to watch your girls. And just because a girl isn't in your slice of the pie doesn't mean that you have to watch her. Because, for example, C, while is pretty much in Z's slice of the pie, is not necessarily in her line of sight if she's looking from the ball to these two. She's going to miss it. But K is going to see this cut. So it's kind of a gray area on where you're going to see your cutters. But if you see a cutter, you should just go with it and make sure to scream. Because then if C does cut and K's like cutter, cutter, cutter and goes, at least Z's going to be aware. Someone behind me cut. And I know there's two girls behind me. And then she can shift over and fix the problem. I don't know the word I'm thinking of. So that's kind of who you got to cover. But the hardest part of zone is communicating your cutters. Because in a perfect zone, when D cuts, K follows until about halfway. Because the whole time she's like, L, cutter, L, cutter. And so L should meet halfway. So then other people don't have to shift. And so then K can go back and L follows her through. And when these guys all shift or whatever. I don't really know. And so that's in a perfect world. In a realistic world, D cuts, K follows, and she's yelling cutter, cutter, and then when she gets through, she's yelling shift. And everyone has to shift. And a good point my good friend Sam brought up is, in this situation where D just cut through, C is going to be looking for that double cut. In which case, most likely it falls on Z. But there's also this life hack that I enjoy where I'm just going to go with Z, where Z follows the cutter through, but you don't have to follow her all the way through. Because once she gets to a certain point, she's just going to go back out. And then she can kind of come back. Of course, she has to tell everybody what's going on with this bitch, but she can kind of come back and catch that double cut. Yeah. Cutting is kind of hard, but it's mostly communication and it's mostly shifting. So we always have to listen for our shifts. And now we're going to go over what I like to call the Emma. And where Emma just fucking gets past this line somehow and hangs out right fucking there. And so in this situation, these girls have their hands full up here. So it's going to come down to one of these guys. And it should be the one where the ball isn't at. Because, you know, if this person, like, for example, if R is Vic and this is Emma, and then my backer ditches me, Vic's going to beat me every time. So the backer should stay, and Y should mark up. Because this girl, she's not really going to do anything, because if she comes over here and gets the ball, big whoop, she already has two girls on her. Or if she comes over here and gets the ball, she's like, you already have a girl on her, and if she goes to space, then she's in space, and she's not going to hurt you. So Y should come here, but when D does run out over here, she's not going to follow. She's just going to go back. And of course, the whole time, she's yelling, cut her, or sit her in the middle. It doesn't matter. And so, yeah. Mark up and come back when she ditches. And then that's zone.